What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel, my documentary, my journey with Clonopin withdrawal, or benzodiazepine in general. I hope you guys are having a good day. Remember, it's always important to smile, even whenever you're feeling like crap. That's one important thing. Whenever you're going through benzo withdrawal, you always have to smile. Always have to project positivity. You don't always want to wallow in that depression. I do sometimes, but you got to force yourself out of it. Now, the topic of this video are going to be the symptoms, or some of the symptoms that I can really think about just right offhand, um, that I go through on a daily basis. And the point is not to scare you, not to freak you out. It's mostly, if you're going through benzo withdrawal, I want you to know that what you're feeling is common. It's not something like, oh man, I'm going crazy, or nothing like that. Everything that I'm going to talk about is what I'm experiencing. It's my personal experience. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not a psychologist. Not a therapist. I'm just somebody who's going through benzo withdrawal. So if you are too, then I hope you can relate to this video. Um, First thing and the most obvious thing, um, heightened anxiety. Very high anxiety. I was originally prescribed benzodiazepines for panic disorder and anxiety, panic attacks. Now, what I feel on a daily basis is basically that: more anxiety, more panic. Um, that's just part of benzo withdrawal. Benzodiazepines are sedatives. They calm you down. Whenever you stop taking them, your body ramps up the anxiety that it has. And, I mean, it's all scientific. I mean, you got your glutamate, you got your GABA receptors. Your GABA receptors over time basically stop working. With constant benzodiazepine use, your brain does that because it's too relaxed, and it realizes that, and that's where you're that's where you really have a chemical imbalance after long-term use of benzos, whether it be Valium or Ativan or Klonopin or Xanax, whatever. They all do the same thing. Um, the next symptom I want to talk about is concentration or brain fog or lack of concentration. Whenever you go through a benzo withdrawal, your mind just is not there. You're constantly tired. You're constantly just, you lose focus. You how do I put it? You have a task in mind, and you really don't know how to do it. Do it. It kind of makes you feel like you're going crazy. I mean, I always say I have a mind of a 90-year-old right now. Um, or maybe even sometimes they'll have their mind is probably better than mine, because mine is just not it's not there right now. And actually, it wasn't there while I was actively using benzodiazepines. Now that I look back and think about it. So if you feel like you have no concentration, you feel like you can't focus on anything, or generally just tired all the time, just know that it's normal. Next thing, depression. There is a level of depression that somebody might feel if they're going through something, or you're going through a bad breakup, or you lost something that was near and dear to you. Yeah, it's normal. Sometimes you get depressed, you get sad, you get down, and you can bounce back from it. But the depression that you feel during benzo withdrawal is just almost unnatural, I would say. And I think it's for a number of reasons. Again, I'm not a doctor, so just take what I say with a grain of salt. your mind or your brain is going through a number of changes, right? While you're taking the benzodiazepine, it was actively changing the chemical makeup of your brain. Um, now that you're tapering, or you come off the medication or whatever, now your brain has to figure out what to do now that it has less of the external chemical, the benzo, or if it doesn't have none, if you don't have any at all in your system, it's trying to figure out what to do, trying to restore its balance. And during all that, it's got to govern your body. You still have a life to live. So it's very understandable if you're going to be depressed. Not only because of that, but because of all the compounding problems that you start feeling, all the symptoms that you feel. Just from what I mentioned, anxiety, you feel these different symptoms, and you start thinking, I'm never gonna get out of this. I'm never gonna, you start having these thoughts of, why did I do this, or why did I not catch on earlier, or how did I let this get so bad? And that's enough to depress you. So just know that you're not crazy. You're going through a terrible withdrawal, and it's okay to be down and sad sometimes. It's hard. It's hard for the person going through it. It's hard for your family. Me personally, I feel bad sometimes for my family who has to see me go through this. It's a very depressing feeling. So don't feel bad about feeling depressed. You're gonna feel depressed. It happens. Next symptom, extreme changes in body temperature. Sometimes I'm very cold, sometimes I'm very hot, sweating a lot. It almost feels like sometimes I'll lose feeling in my face or my fingers or whatever. It's not that they're going numb. It's almost like that feeling where you sleep wrong and you feel like the tingling in your fingers. That will feel that in your face. I feel that in my face, my feet sometimes. So I guess that's normal. Many people have said that. All these forums that I read on, everyone is worried that they're having some kind of serious medical like event happening, but it's part of your withdrawal. Another thing that happens to me is a really severe muscle pain or tightness or stiffness in my neck. Benzodiazepines are very potent muscle relaxants. So naturally, whenever you're coming off of them, your muscles are not going to be as relaxed as they were in the past. One thing that I went and had done before I started tapering, I went and got blood work done, make sure, just your standard checkup, just to make sure that everything was okay. Those doctors don't like talking about benzodiazepines, probably because they don't know. So that's that. Lack of sleep or bad sleep quality. In the majority of my videos, you always see I've got like bags under my eyes. I always look tired. It's because I don't really sleep that well. Benzodiazepines induce sleep. So again, and which is always the case with benzodiazepines, everything they do, they help you sleep. They calm you down. They relax your muscles. They basically erase anxiety for the short term. That all comes roaring back. So everything that it helps with, you get a rebound effect once the medicine wears off. Now, if you've been on the medication a long time, like I have 4 years on benzodiazepines. Not every single day, but enough to, or I have to go through this withdrawal. So you feel those symptoms a little bit more severely. Me personally, I don't sleep very much, so that's just the way it is. I mean, I can't, I can't change it. I take some melatonin or something, and if I fall asleep, I fall asleep. Great. Another symptom, I said anxiety. I said muscle pains. I said loss of sensation, face and neck, and it's almost like something was talking to me, because now I'm getting the ringing in my ears. That's another thing. The tinnitus. You get ringing in your ears. I mean, what can you do about it? You can't stop it. So I mean, um, just have to deal with it. That's the answer to benzo withdrawal. You just have to deal with it. You have to get on with your life. Unfortunately, another thing I experienced early on, and it was really scary. And it's persistent, but now I've kind of come to expect it. It's more like a depersonalization or a derealization. It's a feeling of not knowing who you are, or not understanding your role in the world, not understanding what it is that you need to do on a daily basis. Unfortunately, that happens to me a lot. I wake up and not feel like how I used to feel. Back then, I would know who I was. I would go about my day, do what I do, at work or whatever. These days is a little bit different. My perception of reality has changed. But that goes away in time. I'm still experiencing it because I'm still tapering. I'm still ingesting small amounts of Klonopin, and tapering and taking less as time goes on. So that's to be expected. If you're feeling any of those things, or and that's I only named like six symptoms. There's a lot more. It's just I can't think of it right now. And if I went into detail on every single symptom, I'd be sitting here for 2 hours, talking about it all. But I just want you to know that it's normal. If you're going through a benzo withdrawal, or if you're taking your benzo and you're still experiencing these symptoms, it's called tolerance withdrawal or interdose withdrawal. This is all normal. Many people have gone through this and they've made it out, even though sometimes you feel like it's going to go on forever. You feel like you're going crazy. You're not going crazy. You're not losing your mind. It's a really evil drug. Sometimes I think it was designed to do this to people, to keep them coming back. Pharmaceutical companies, these huge companies, there's a reason why they make billions of dollars in profit or whatever revenue every year, because medications like benzodiazepines don't cure anything. Matter of fact, they latch onto your central nervous system, and they make changes in your brain that take time to undo themselves. And that's the important thing that you should remember. You're feeling all these things. You're feeling just weird all the time. You're anxious, sweating, hot, cold, can't sleep, shaking. That's something that happens to me. I wake up in the mornings. I always have a sensation of needing to shake my arms, my legs, my feet. It almost feels like my muscles are very restless. But back to the point, it's like these drugs were made to keep you at the doctor's office. But once you realize that what's going on, and you make the choice to get off of the medications, you're gonna have to endure some of this stuff. And you're gonna have to be strong through it all, because there is no alternative. You go to a doctor, they're gonna want to prescribe you something else. And the whole idea here is to get off of medications that are harmful to your health. If I could go back in time, and I'm sure everybody wish they could, I would go back and take myself out of that doctor's office. Because now, a couple of years later, I'm dealing with this. I'm having to deal with it. But the important thing here is you got to hang on to that hope. You got to hang on to that idea that it does finish, it does get better, and I truly believe that it will. I've seen a lot of people on their videos, they go through it, they get out. It just takes time, takes patience, and it takes a lot of guts. It takes a lot of you got to white knuckle through a lot of this stuff, you know. And sometimes I find myself asking, like, how do I enjoy myself during this withdrawal? How do I go to the movies or whatever, go to the beach or something? You know, the answer is right now we may not be able to enjoy those things, and it's a very depressing idea, but it's something that we have to realize this is because of benzo withdrawal. But try not to wallow on that idea. Try to think about the hopeful part, about it getting better, and the skies, instead of being gray or dark all the time, they'll be sunny, and you'll be able to enjoy those things that you missed out on. Me, I'm missing out on a lot this year, because of what I'm going through, and it's something that I have to consider whenever I plan something with my wife, if I'm gonna be able to handle it. And that's something that in the past you really didn't have to think about, but now I do. But it's temporary. I know it is. I know it'll improve. We'll all be healthier. I think I've gone on a little bit longer than I wanted to, but if you guys are interested in keeping up with my withdrawal journey, or just sometimes I get random ideas and I just start talking on a video, whatever, feel free to subscribe, or if you have any questions, comment. I'm pretty responsive. And I hope you guys, if you're going through this, I hope you understand that it will improve. You just gotta hang on. You gotta be strong, even though sometimes you can't even get out of bed. Getting out of bed, taking a shower is a success. But we'll get there one day at a time, guys. You be safe and enjoy the rest of your day.